Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, King. Coming at you guys with a very spicy deck profile featuring OP11 here on the channel, let alone a leader in which it seems to be very hyped in my community. Not sure what it is. You guys seem to love this leader, which is awesome. This is one of my favorite decks to play in the game. I just wish it had more support. When this leader came out, I played this leader a lot at local scene, a lot here on Sim. We didn't do that many videos. I think we had like maybe 5. This might be the 5th King video actually. So yeah, quite a bit. In any case, this leader is not going to be a tier 1 leader by any means whatsoever. Just get that out of the way as quickly as possible. However, this leader has a very high skill ceiling. He has a very flexible deck in which you can build in numerous different ways. The lines are different than a lot of the other decks when it comes to removal. King has to see certain cards on certain turns, has to have cards on board for certain characters, for curves. There's a lot of different ins and outs when it comes to this leader. There's not going to be a perfect build by any means necessary. Your list is going to be different than mine. My list is going to be different than yours. I've done different variations here on the channel, so you can go back and forth and pick and choose what you like better. But we did get a little bit of support here when it comes to our promo ulti, which is really good here for this leader, obviously. Now, what this allows you to do, if you see the lines, right, going first or going second. If you are going second, you have a perfect curve into the ulti, right? If you're going first, you still have a perfect curve into the ulti, assuming you find Onigashima Island. Now, having both of these on board at the same time in the late game, this allows you to use your leader ability for free. Yes, mind you, if you are on 10 Don, you use your leader skill, you draw 1 card, right? The following turn, you go back up to 10 Don. I get it. But having both of these on board prior to being up at 10 Dawn allows you to use your leader ability for free because you get the Dawn back with the ulti and you get to restand the stage and get the Dawn back again, which is really nice. Now, that's a perfect world, right? Obviously. And it's probably not going to happen every single game, but it's very consistent when you have both of these cards on board. It's very strong together. With that being said, this is really our only new support. So, mind you, if you go into OP12, right, we have nothing that we can utilize here for this deck list outside of... Are you ready? Yeah, that's right. I don't see anything. All these cards for purple, you don't get to use any of these. These are for Sanji, Vinsmoke. You have things for Law and Rosinante. And that's pretty much it. You could argue that Miss All Sunday, but this seems a little bit irrelevant. It's not the best. You don't want to trigger and -1 Dawn off of this. This is definitely going to be more for a Crocodile for yellow purple. But the other cards that we do have access to in OP12 are Revolutionary Army. So King is not getting anything, period. There's nothing that you're going to see that's going to make this deck better in the future going to the OP12 or PRB. Because if you go ahead and take a look at PRB stuff, what do we get? A Shiryu for Blackbeard Pirates and a Gecko Moria. Sabo, of course, Revolutionary Army. It's going to be irrelevant here in this list as well. However, we do have a Doflamingo that might be playable here in King. We'll have to see. This allows you to ramp and you get a blocker if you're multicolored, which you are. So, that could be something that could be pretty useful here if you guys don't see stage on curve. So, in any case, we're going to go ahead and dive into our deck list today. We're going to talk about it. We're going to play a bunch of games as we typically do. We'll probably do maybe like 5 or 6. So this might be a shorter video in terms of games, but it'll still be probably like an hour and some change. Because this is a control-based variant deck, so a lot of thinking. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the deck list in which we are going to be playing with today. This is a little bit different than my previous variation, just because we have to make room for ulti. Outside of that, there's going to be a lot of stuff in here that is going to be from my other variations, just different ratios and different setup here. We decide to go with the ulti and the stage, which we've already talked about, right? You guys have that base down. We are going to be utilizing 10 2K counters with 4 Kamizo and then 4 Who's Who on top of 2 one-legged soldiers, and then 2 bards. 12. Sorry, math is hard. Both of these are kind of irrelevant for us. This is just a cheap blocker in case we guys don't have anything else to play down for that turn. The other benefit for this is it gets back from the Rebecca effect. If you guys don't have a Brook in trash or a Brook in hand or a Bard in hand, you can get these back from the trash and play them back down on board. This does the thing, allow you to pop characters. This is another blocker. If your opponent doesn't KO it, it gets to restand. You know what I mean, for the following turn. So they do make their use here in King just for that specific reason with the Rebecca. Now, the Soldier, this is a wild card. This is very flexible. You don't have to utilize this if you don't want to. I like to run at least 2 of them in my list now. This makes your opponent have to either not play a big body going into the following turn because they see the Soldier on board, meaning you're trying to set up to pop something. So, for example, if you guys drop this down on your 6th Dawn turn for what have you, because you don't have a Laboon, for whatever reason that may be, you play down the Soldier, you play down either like a blocker here or a Kamizo or what have you, or maybe you're swinging heavy. This allows the setup for the Jack. This reduces your cost by 3, whereas this reduces a cost by 4. Ideally, you want to see the Laboon, right, for the lines, but getting a Soldier down early, going into a Jack turn is still very, very strong. The upside to Soldier versus the Laboon is you have to rest this, and once you rest this character, your opponent is going to attack into it. So if you don't have the counter in hand or another blocker on board to protect the Laboon, it's probably going to go, right? But with the Soldier, you have an opportunity of just using its ability, trashing it, minusing 3, and then just playing the Jack on board. Then the following turn, your opponent will more than likely try to run into the Jack, which is an 8,000 power. It's a little bit easier to counter out than just removing the Laboon. This is very strong, again, if you guys have the blocker on board or you're playing against a deck in which doesn't utilize a whole lot of removal. So, or they're not ready for this one. Now, when it comes to your other blockers here, we're going to be utilizing Rebecca, of course. This gets back everything in the deck that's viable. This allows you to keep doing the loop here with the Sabo, getting the Sabo back from the trash, playing the Sabo back down on 9 Dawn, drawing 2 cards, doing the thing, which is good. This also gets you back their Shirahoshi. This gets you back the Laboon, the Bart, the Brook, the Jack, the Who's Who. This card is vital for the late game. It's very strong because it allows you to keep recycling your pieces. Now, there are certain situations in which you're going to take back the Jack from trash. It's very rare. Normally, for me, I'm taking either anything else besides the Jack. Just because it's a 7 cost, and into the late game, you're typically playing down things like Kuzan and Linlin, if you already have the setup on board with like the Laboon or even a Brook or 2. Just because this allows you to be able to remove anything in the game off of your Kuzan or off of your Linlin. So Rebecca typically for me is pulling back either the Laboon or the Sabo in most cases. Like I said, arguably, sometimes you're getting back a Shirahoshi or a Who's Who. This is still really good as well. This does the exact same thing as the Laboon does, except for it's a blocker and you don't have to rest it. So you pick your poisons. It all depends on what you have on board for the setup. Now, the Kuzan, of course, for whatever reason, going into black metagame, Kuzan has become staple for other decks like Rob Lucci, right? This is also a staple card for King. It always has been for every iteration that you guys can probably cook up. This is a very strong card for this deck list. Same thing with the Big Mom. Both of these cards, this is not because Big Mom is good now in the metagame. This is not why she is here. She's always been in every one of my iterations when it comes to King. This card is what makes King relevant when she came out in OP08. Prior to OP08, King really didn't have a whole lot of legs to stand on because he didn't have ways of healing life or sustaining himself other than the Rebecca and the Sabo. But if you remember, we had Gecko Moria and stuff by that time. Gecko Moria really didn't do a whole thing for this deck as well. So we had to replace that with Linlin, which gives us a lot of value here while removing a character on board and gaining a life. But I digress. Now, the rest of our cards here are going to be the 1-drop searchers, which are kind of relevant. You need to have this in the deck no matter what. I don't care iteration you're building, this needs to be here. This allows you to search out for your Linlins into your late game. This is what allows you to sustain, drawing into your Linlands, removing any character on board if you have the setup here, healing a life, doing a thing. This also finds your stage. So, you have 8 cards, or yeah, I guess you have 8 chances to getting stage, basically, because you draw your first 5, you play down one of these to see another 5. This is really good if you don't have stage in the early game or you're looking for your big bombs. Other than that, you're not typically utilizing this for anything else. I know that sounds terrible, but it has 2 uses. Outside of that, if you're searching, you either need to draw into your 9 mom, your 7 jack, or your island. That's pretty much it. Everything else is just pulls a who's who. So, but without further ado, we're going to dive into a bunch of games today as we typically do here on the channel. Let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with King playing into Katakuri and OP11 here. Now, as we do these games, I'm going to try to talk about the deck list more and talk about what our plays are going to be in each matchup as we go forth. It's going to be a little bit challenging because this is a control-based variant, which does take a lot of thinking, but I have played this leader quite a bit, so it's almost second nature, but there are some deck lists out there which really make you think, unfortunately, so we're going to do our best here. Now, there is another card I do want to talk about here before we get into this, which I didn't really speak on, and that's the 2K counter Kamizo. I'm going to throw him up on screen during editing, but he's the 4-cost 2K, in which when you minus Dawn, right, with King's ability or any ability in the game, when you minus Dawn, you can pop something on your opponent's side of the board that costs 2 or less. There are going to be times where with King, you need to have that in play, just because it enables you to pop multiple other characters that are going to be in-game in the late game. So you'll have plays with, alright, guess we're taking Jack. You'll have plays where you have a Jack on board and you'll have like a Kuzan or what have you. The moment you leader ability, you get to minus something or draw a card, right, with your skill, and then you kill something that's 2 costs or less on top of the Kuzan effect that's on board. And then you have the Jack as well that's able to pop something else that's on board due to the Kuzan, which makes things a little bit more cost efficient. There's a lot of ins and outs with King, and I do feel like people disregard his leader ability. And I understand, man, like in the early game, we're sitting at 5 Dawn. There's no way I'm going to go ahead and spend my leader ability right now, which basically throws me off curve, puts my opponent way ahead because we have no other way of recouping the Dawn. We don't have the rampers in this deck. Only ramp that we utilize here is going to be Onigashima Island. And you could argue you can build this deck ramp based. You can go for it. You can run the Bond Clays. You can run, I don't know, whatever ramp cards you want to have. You can go Hold Cake, it's the Die 4. You can run the God Thread. It's just, there's so many caveats to this deck, and it can be built in so many different ways. There's not going to be a right and wrong. You know what I mean? This is just, I try to build this deck in a way that makes sense to me, and that's more so removal based than it is going to be ramp based. Because we have multiple ways of finding Onigashima Island off our searcher stage, off the searcher event to find the stage. And then we have a lot of removal based characters that I have to see on curve in order to pop certain cards. More so than just spending 5 playing God Thread ramping 1, you know what I mean? Instead, I could spend 4 Dawn, play down a Laboon, and pass turn play a Jack the following, you know what I mean? Instead of playing a Jack on 7 and not having any removal on board to help the Jack pop something. But I digress. Katakuri's got 2 cards in hand, he's got 4 life. This is looking to be pretty terrifying, to be fair. I have to remove the Pawseparo. Unfortunately, we don't have a way of doing that right now, which is, again, unfortunate. Next turn, if Katakuri really wants to, he could just put me to 0 life and then spend and play Big Mom the following turn if he really wants to start cooking. There are other situations where he could just run into the Jack, which he's probably going to do, and we have the counter readily available here for this turn in case he wants to do that. Because for us, going into the next turn, we have access to Laboon and or a Kuzan. We could technically drop a Shirahoshi on board to -4 on whatever big body he decides to play next turn, or on the Pawseplay's to pop it. There's so many different ins and outs that we have readily available for us here. Unfortunately though, he is going 9 to face, which gives him 4 Dawn left over to swing with Brûlée or attaching that Pawseplay's to go into the Jack. I don't necessarily think he's gonna swing here with Pawseplay's, just because he needs to see that on board for the future. He does have 1 blocker up, but it only takes 1 removal piece plus Jack to pop the Paro, so we have a lot of options here for us. Drops the Strusen. He didn't really play anything else down here either. And for 4 Dawn, he doesn't really do much else besides play down other blockers. He does go back to 5 with the ramp. Does he have another Paro? Our hand's pretty good, man. We have double Kuzan. It's almost like we have the dream here. But there's no way we're dropping both of them back to back. He's going to go 9 here. I'd assume on leader. Okay, cool. Unfortunately, we cannot take this hit. I guess we could because we get the Big Mom, right? So that's 5, 7, 8. So he goes to 8. So he goes to 10 Dawn next turn. Yeah, so he does have an option to play down the Lin to run into the Jack here. We're going to go ahead and counter out. So now we can still play Shirahoshi to minus the Pawseplay's to pop it with the Jack if we wanted to. And then we can go 5 into the Brûlée here. Let's see. Kuzan, do the thing. That seemed a little aggressive on my part, though. I think I should have played the Shirahoshi here anyway. I think that was probably better. Let's remove the blocker, in hindsight. Draw 1, we get a Brook, which is pretty good. He can't kill us next turn, I don't think. Okay, yeah, he definitely can kill us next turn. Yeah, he definitely can. He can't get rid of the Kuzan, though, so we'll get rid of that one. We'll pop this, and then we'll run 5 into the Brûlée. Can he kill us next turn? Let me think. Going 6k, or sorry, attaching 6 to Brûlée. That swings for a 10. Then he can go for 10k with Katakuri as well as 2 10k swings. We have a decent amount of counter here. Arguably, we need to see 1 2k to survive, if possible. And I feel like we should have popped the Brûlée there with the Jack instead of the blocker. But trying to talk things through and pay attention is sometimes a little bit difficult when it comes to these control decks. But I think I should have popped the Brûlée instead of popping the blocker. And then just swung 5 to face at that point. Because arguably he probably was just going to take the hit, you know what I mean? So he's going to go 9, do his leader thing, go up to 10. Oh, maybe he's not. Okay, cool. Hey, we get a 2k counter. That's good. So no matter what he does here, we survive. Because if he goes 10k, we have 11 in hand. Which is cool. And he's safe enough just to be able to do that and not worry about losing the following turn. But we finally have the counter, so we're good. We're chilling. But we still have a long way to go because he has 4 life. There goes our whole hand. Now we're cooking. Because we have the Lin in hand to sustain ourselves, which arguably you guys are probably going to say, like this new band wave and stuff that's coming out, people have been saying that Lin needs to go. Yeah, she's pretty strong, but she does a lot for other decks in the format, not just Luffy, man. All of these decks that don't have, or are off meta, Crocodile, King for instance, we all utilize Lin. She sustains us, she has a little bit of removal, she does a thing, but she's just so good in the Luffy variants due to the Sanji being able to kick her on board. You know what I mean? So it's 2 big bodies. Now, removing that hurts the Luffy deck entirely, because the man can't heal at that point, you know, and that's just really, it makes it a lot easier for people to deal with. But then Sanji will probably be kicking like 8-cost Katakuri or 9-cost Mihawk, which Mihawk is kind of you know, but still, I think that Linlin has to stay for decks like this that can utilize it. If not, they just errata the Linlin to make sure she can stay in the game. I don't feel like she needs to be banned. She does still help decks that can utilize her to some extent. But I think if she is removed, then King, decks like Purple Yellow Crocodile, they take a big hit as well. And they're off meta decks, you know what I mean? So, but that's a conversation for another video, I think. We'll probably do like a ban list maybe, I don't know. I've never done one of these on the channel, and they kind of just bring drama and not necessarily good comments, you know what I mean? People to start arguing and stuff. I don't really want to do it, but it could be something to talk about, you know? In a healthy environment. In any case, what do you get here? Sparrow, okay. 8 Dawn left. I think we can actually still win this game. We don't necessarily have another Big Mom here, which is a problem. We have no other way to sustain ourselves. We do have 1 blocker in hand, which is nice, because Katakuri cannot remove them unless he utilizes another God Threat to pop it. Which could be a way, but that's 5 Dawn that he won't be able to play another body down. So he only necessarily can choose either to put a body on board or remove a body. Hey, who's who? That just pops the Anana. We'll keep it. There's a God Threat, actually. Cool. How many is that, actually? There's a Kamizo on top of life here. Another Kamizo. Oh, sorry, that's the Kamizo we get to draw. We don't really need to play her just yet. But we do need to have a blocker here, actually. -4, sure. Jack draws us, but then we have to pitch a 2K counter. We can play Kamizo down. So when we do the -Dawn here, we can pop down the Parasparrow or the blocker. We also get to draw off this as well. Another 2K, that's really good. So we got the 2K back. And then Jack, of course, doesn't have a way of drawing us an extra card here without pitching the 2K. And there's no point of using his leader ability here, or sorry, his ability here. Because we could pitch the 2K and get a no counter card, or get a card in which we can't utilize for the following turn, so we're just going to swing. Because now we can go 8, 9, and 10. I don't necessarily think he's going to kill the Kuzan, so... yeah, I think we have to hit here. We haven't seen a Big Mom yet, though. He left 1 Dawn up as well for the event, if he's utilizing that in this deck. Okay. We're gonna keep poking. So I'm pretty sure we can win the following turn. Unless, again, he has a God Threat. That's 1, that's 2. Only 2 in trash. So, what are the odds, right? Because if he does God Threat it, he goes 11k? No, sorry, he can only swing still for 10, and we still have the counter, so we're fine. If he tries to split Dawn on putting in the Anana, it won't help him here in this case either. So there should be a well played. He does have a whole book in hand, though. Oh. I hate when moments like this happen, because it's just like, should I pass the turn back to him? But then he already drew a card, and he draws another card. You know what I mean? It's just like, what do I do? I wonder if he had the game. Did he actually have the game, though? Or could he have had the game? I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any way out of that situation. Like, if he had a 9-cost Mom, for example, which we know that he had drawn, off a search, off the pudding. So he could technically have healed up and then removed, what, Shirahoshi or Kamizo on my board, put it to life? He could have done that, right? But that's the only thing I think he could have done in that situation, because 10-cost Mom wouldn't have saved him. Because he swings in, he gets the blocker, he swings for 5, plus 6, we give him a 2k. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any line in which he could have won last turn. So we're probably going to have to play this out to see his hand. I was going to win. Okay, sure. I don't think so, man. I don't get it. Let's find out. We'll -2. We'll draw 1, we'll pop this. Let's go 10k. Let's see if he was going to win the game. -1 Dawn for your leader skill, sure. A Brûlé, a Pudding, a Katakuri, and another Katakuri. So you had a whole lot of nothing. So what do? You drop the 2-cost Katakuri, you play 8 costs out for free, then you don't have Dawn to play Big Mom? Sure, buddy. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game. Come at you guys with King playing into Eustace Kid and OP11. Before we get into this one, I did make a misplay on the Katakuri matchup when we were talking. He swung for 5, and then he used his leader skill, and I was not paying attention, which boosted him to a 6, and I gave him a 1k counter, and we took the hit. Arguably, if I gave him a 2k, the game wouldn't have been as close as it was. But this is why we get to go back and edit and watch videos and stuff and see the mistakes, because we're only human. It happens. In any case, this matchup is very, very challenging. I think yellow decks in general are very, very difficult, especially Kid and the green-yellow Law, because they have access to Beji. Which, for black decks, it's Tashigi, right? So you have to remove the Beji first, before you can remove another character on board that's Supernova. So, he does make it a little problematic. Not in all cases, but in most cases. And I think this turn was probably better for me to drop down the Laboon, and then go into Jack for the following. But there are some times where I want to have ulti on board, just because she enables my ability to be free, which is really nice here. We got 6 Dawn. He's got a whole book. I do think our late game is a lot better here than Kid, because we have access to the Kuzan and the 9 Mom. Now, his 8-cost Kid is very, very good in this matchup as well, because it allows him to burn life for free, along with the Basil Hawkins. So, if we didn't have Big Mom, or access to Big Mom, this matchup would probably be a no-go, to be fair, because we don't have any other way of sustaining. There's a 4-life leader, no sustain. We need to have certain characters on board, which in Yellow Deck's case, they can play down things like Zeus or the Electro Cannon to remove problematic setup cards like Laboon. So, speaking of which, we'll give him 1 Brook, which we can pull back from trash later with Rebecca, so that's okay. And we did get the Kuzan, which is nice. Unfortunately, he does have the Beji. And I don't typically like doing it this way. I like using Rebecca when I know I have a Sabo in trash, that way I can get it back and do the Sabo thing. But in some situations, I can play down the Rebecca. I don't know why I'm getting tongue-tied today, I don't get it. Anyway, I can play down the Rebecca and then get back the Brook from trash to pop down the Beji here, which is good for us. But we're going to have to lead skill first. And there's no other way we can do this. I couldn't play Rebecca first because we wouldn't be able to draw the cards or do our skill here. So I want to go ahead and do the skill first, minus the 2 Dawn. And then we'll put it on Beji, which gets us back the Brook from trash here to pop the Beji. And then I will go 6 into Kikinojo. I don't want to go for life here, so I'd rather leave that face up, which I don't want to say halts Kid from using his skill, but it does make it a little bit more difficult because he has to have the life face down before he can get something blocker. So, in this situation here, we can go ahead and remove this. Go 6 in the Kikinojo. Yeah, he could take the hit. Sorry, he could take the hit and let it go to the trash, right? And then he heals a life. Then he has a way of giving something else blocker, but we still get to remove the body on board, which makes it problematic for us if we don't. So, there's a lot of ins and outs here. Just let it go, man. Heal up. Everybody wants to heal. Go ahead, heal up. You got this. We have nothing but bricks in hand, by the way, so this is going to be tough. Well, you countered out, so it is what it is. I don't want to swing here with ulti. I want to keep her on board for the time being. And if we did decide to swing, he counters out. It just feels really, really bad. Because now, at least this turn, we have a pseudo blocker in the form of Brook. And Laboon is still active, so he does have ways of removing it with things like Zeus and the cannon. I just hope he doesn't have access to that right now. I need to keep the Brook on board. Sorry, the Laboon on board. Never mind. You're cool, bud. You're cool. So he rips the life, right? So now he has a way of giving something blocker this turn as well. Which I would assume is going to be Zoro. Yep, Laboon's gone. I suppose he could play down like Cavendish here for 6 Dawn. Okay. Oh, that's right. He takes the Hawkins with the Zeus. Yeah, never mind. I forgot about that. So that'll get blocker. Plays out another Veggie. This guy, man. 5 lead. Sure, man. We'll give you the ulti here, actually. Because we need the Rebecca to protect the Brook. Well, no, because he has double hits, so Brook's gonna go anyway. You got it. Swings for 6. That's cool. Cool. You love to see it. We'll pop that. That actually was just really, really helpful. That was really good for us. Another ulti. Not what I want to see. And it seems like no matter how I decide to take it this turn, I'm going to have to trash life. Unless we do Big Mom. If we play Kuzan, we pop, what, Kikinojo? We pop Kikinojo, run 5 into the Zoro, run 6 into the Zoro, and then he just trashes life with the Hawkins. So I think we have to remove it this way, just to be safe. Because I have to be mindful of the 10 cost Ace Rush, and I have to be mindful of the 8 cost Eustace Kid. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I'll put it on top, just because it's a little bit harder for him to use his leader skill. If I put it on the bottom, it'll be a little bit easier, because it's only Luffy, then he has to face down life. Yeah, on the trigger, he gets to draw 2 trash 1, I get it, sure. But I think this is a little bit easier for us, unless the next turn he does have the 7-drop law, then regardless, he gets to set it up anyway. So maybe just one of those situations I can't get out of, you know? We'll go 5 here. Just let it go. We're going to clear it anyway. Just let it go. You don't need it. Please. This guy is so mean. Alright, we'll have to do this as well then, I guess. Cool. Yeah, we leader skilled. I think so, right? I'm pretty sure we did. I don't remember. That's my bad. I think we did. Alright, so he's gonna have to play Law here, I think. Just to heal up and then reset the life. Or if he has access to Newgate or Viola. Because at least with Newgate, he can shift them around a little bit. But either Law, Newgate, or Viola comes down here. Yep. Sure. What was that? X-Drake, okay. Goes 6, 3 down open. So Kikunojo can still swing for 7 as well here. Okay, 6 into 6. I will counter this, because I can give him the ulti. I do feel like she's a pseudo blocker as well, which is really nice, man. Like, the moment I swing with her, people just automatically attack her, which is cool. I think she's better than the Pudding too, by the way. I think Pudding's the 3-cost one. Yeah. Because it's searchable, it's a bigger body, it does better things, allows us to restand the stage instead of just getting a Dawn back. It's just really, really good. Like, being able to get off this ability just once in the game allows you to double ramp in a turn. And that's all you really need. Like, you really just need to see her one time, I guess, realistically. Kuzan, Jack. We have to remove the law. But I don't have a way of doing that right now. So I can't use Leader's skill and play Kuzan here. So instead, I think we just play Kuzan down and pop the Kikunojo. Because my other line here would be playing down the Jack, using our Leader skill, minusing 2 to the Kikunojo, and then jacking that. Yeah, that's actually pretty good here too. Because we can trash the stage. So we use Leader, we minus 2 on the Kikunojo here. We get the Dawn back with the ulti. And then we jack, trash the stage, draw a free card. Well, we draw first, but yeah, you know what I mean. We get the Dawn here. Yeah, I can't restand the stage, I understand that, I get it. But it doesn't matter, because we start at 10 Dawn next turn, so we're chilling. Nice. 2k. We'll do this, we'll pop that, they heal up a life, I understand. And this is going to be a really awkward play. Because we will play down the blocker here, and I do think I want to swing. I think swinging here is pretty good. So we'll go 9 first, see if we can bait out the law. Like law plus 1k or whatever. And he takes the hit. You know what? Let's do it again. Don't you want the free 2k counter? Okay. I'll swing with ulti as well, because she's going to become another pseudo blocker for this turn. At least I think she would be. And then the following turn, if we're able to keep the Jack on board, we have the Kuzan. And then we're in business. Okay, takes the damage. Are we chilling? I think we're chilling, team. Because he only has 2 ways of removing characters, right? The Zeus and the Cannon. And then, sure, plays Viola down, no problem. So he has ways of giving something blocker here this turn as well. So it's probably going to be another Basil Hawkins, Law, or an 8-cost kit. All those are really, really good. Zoro, interesting. Just bodies on board. Alright, we'll take it, boys. I think we're good at this point. Because next turn we have a lot of ways of removing bodies here. I will protect the ulti if he decides to run into it. Cool. Although it's probably not the best, but I want to keep her on board here. Nine in the Jack. 9 in the Big Mom. Interesting. I don't know why he decided to do that. I think I would have went for the Jack there. So there's the Hawkins. He's going to restand the law. Which is irrelevant for us. Right? Yep, there's the law. We get a Shirahoshi. That's actually really good too. Because that's a Shirahoshi play into the Jack to pop it. But Kuzan here does more value overall. This will heal him, which is totally okay with me. Yeah, we'll pop this. It's going to be a very, very grindy game. And then we have leader skill for the law. Actually, we don't have to do that. That's math. We'll just draw a card here. With the +1. Nice. That's actually really good for us. We'll get the Dawn back. Get the other Dawn back. And we'll start poking. Let's pop that first, I guess. Unfortunately, we have to get rid of either one of our blockers in hand. Ooh, we get the Rebecca. Okay, so we'll get rid of the Sabo. Because we can pull that back from trash. And play it back down. We'll go 5 here. Hawkins allows him to set up his hands. Doesn't matter. Because we're at 2 life, so no matter what he does here, I think we're chilling. Because that's Kid, Law, and Ace, right? If he wants to play Eustace Kid down, that's totally fine. He burns life, and then he has 2 Dawn left over. So he has 2 5k swings or a 7-5. And we have no blocks up. So we'd have to dump our hands, or at least throw away the Shirahoshi for the 1 5k and then take the other hit, putting us to 0. I mean, that's a line that he could do. But then he loses the following turn unless he has enough counter in hand, right? Because we have the means of removing the Viola and then swinging for 9 and 10k with the Kuzan and the Big Mom plus the Dawn attaching. So I think we're chilling. Unless he has a way of healing up here and playing another body on board. Because then he could do, what, 10 cost Ace, heal up, give something blocker, which would be the Zoro. I guess that's pretty good there too. Capone, okay. It still could be a Capone Law or Capone Kid. Kid still draws him a card as well. Okay, Hawkins, sure. I think that seems a little lackluster at this point. Okay. Did he not have a big body? Because at this stage in the game, what are you searching for if it's not healing? No, the Zoro. I also don't like that card in Kid. I've seen a couple variations with the card. I just feel like it's... Once it gets to a certain point in the game, it just seems kind of just mid, you know? Maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe it's a skill difference. I don't know. I just never really felt the use of the Zoro. Let me know if you think the Zoro is useful in the comments below, if anyone's watching at this point, you know? Going 8 to ulti? Yep. Sure. That's fine. Can't counter that anyway. Zoro swings for 5? Yes? We go down to 1. I think this is okay. Because we still draw a card, right? Yeah, we still draw a card next turn. Yeah, we can trash that. I was worried about the Sabo play that we're going to do. But I think that's fine. Yep. Okay, so that's blocker. There's the Laboon. We don't need the Laboon. We're going to lose life no matter what. No matter how we play this turn here. We'll get back the Sabo. Nope. We'll play Sabo down. Draw 2. The Big Mom in hand. It's actually pretty good. Like just in case, right? Yeah. Yeah. This card wins me so many games, man. We have 2 blockers on board. I think we can afford to get rid of the 2k counter just in case. And he can't pop anything, so that's fine. I don't know why I did stage there, it's my bad. So we have to get rid of the Veggie first. This will trash the Big Mom. Actually, let's use leader skill first. We'll draw a free card in this situation instead of throwing away the mom here. I think that's the line. Let's swing. Give me the viola? Sure, no problem. That's even better for us, I'll take that. He's got 5 in hands. I don't think he would have enough counter here, period. We got a Kuzan, we'll pitch the Kuzan, we'll trash the Veggie. Or KO, sorry. Go 9 here. It doesn't necessarily matter who we swing on with the Kuzan because he's going to guard, right? Even if I go for the Zoro. Sure. Use leader skill here because we didn't do that yet. I don't think so. Right? Yeah, we didn't do leader skill. That's my bad. Hey, another stage. Let's go, boys. And a good game, my good friend. I put a lot more work in this matchup than I thought I was going to have to be honest. But it was nice. We saw the cards we needed. There's ACOS Kid. We have double blockers for the rest of the game here. But yeah, I think this matchup was pretty good. He got to see his big bodies, I got to see my big bodies. He had a lot of swings. I healed him multiple times with the Kikanojos, and we were still able to take it. Yes, Big Mom, she does a lot of work, boys. I understand, I get it. Very strong card. But it's only so strong now because, you know, again, Luffy. Prior to this, we were still using Mom, and no one complained about Mom ever, so. Let's go 6, we'll guard here too. And a GG. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, kid's ability. I was like, what's going on here? Come on, buddy. You're stalling the game. Thank you. We'll search. I'm stalling the game now. Take another mom. Let's just start poking. It's so cool, though, because it's just like, what if, right? We just play another mom down. That's fine. You know, heal up again. 6. We'll go 8. Once that Kuzan hits the board, it's so gross, especially when they can't remove it. It just enables you to remove so many characters in the game, in which your opponent just doesn't have a response to. I think we'll do maybe 2 to 4 games after this one, and then we'll call it a day. Tap back into the end of the deck list. Well played, man. I'll be fair. I thought about not recording this match, just because it is Purple Yellow Crocodile. But Purple Yellow Crocodile hasn't got a lot of screen time, at least playing against it or playing the deck here on the channel. I do think this is one of those leaders that has a lot of potential. Very, very fun. I love Crocodile, we all know this. But at the end of the day, OP12 is around the corner. Your boy gains access to Kuzan. Not Kuzan, sorry. Kuma. Which is going to be a lot of shenanigans. So, who's to say that the deck can't cook up something spicy? You guys will see a build here on the channel as well when it comes to that. But in this matchup, this is a strong one, man. It's very, very difficult because we have to play around the Okama Way, the Kikanojos. He gets to heal a lot with just those 2 cards on top of the aces, the crocodiles. I don't know how I feel about this, actually. I don't know if I like this. We need to remove that on site, and thankfully we have the Who's Who. That needs to go bye-bye. We can pitch the Shirahoshi and bring it back later from trash. I'd rather keep the Laboon in hand. We go 5 lead. I know how important Miss Wednesday is to the deck. You know, it's just like the core. We need to remove it if possible. So, goes to 6 Dawn. So Kikanojo is live, which is unfortunate. Bond Clay, yep. Get to the ramp up. Into another Miss Wednesday. That sucks. Can I get lucky? No, I can't. Okay. We do have the jack though, which is good. No stage still. If we play jack, he just goes to 8k with the bond clay. Assuming he attaches Dawn, then he just gets to clear it. So I guess it's a win-win here for him. My other option would be playing down the Laboon and then doing a Brook. I think that's still okay. Yeah. Might be doing too much, right? We're definitely doing too much at that point. But is that okay? This has to go. One way or the other, it has to go. Soldier. I'll trash the Brook here. You might be arguing we can get rid of the ulti over there. Yeah, we could have, but we can bring back the Brook. It's not really that much of a big deal. I'll go 5 here. We're not going to play down the ulti at any point, but you know, at least she's a 1k counter. So, go 5 here as well. Can Jack stay on board? That's all I need right here. Gitatsu. We'll pass it over. We're at 7 Dawn. If only we had the stage, man. We'd be at 10 next turn. But then I suppose Miss Wednesday would have stayed on board, right? You can have that, that's fine. Why'd you go there instead of going for Jack? Is that math? Because you would have swung, you should have swung 8 into Jack attaching 5 Dawn, like you're doing now. Because that would mean he'd be 13k, right? I don't know, man. We're countering out though, that's for sure. That seemed a little silly. I think I would have done that the other way around. So I would have still let the Who's Who go in the trash and countered out for Jack. Leaves up 2 Dawn. Because this might be one of those plays where he has the Okama Way. So that means we have to remove the Kikinoja before he can get value here. Trash the Brook, gain life. See you later. We'll go 5 in the Bond Clay. Yes, sir. I think it's okay to attack here with Jack, but we don't have counter in hand in case he wants to run into it. So, we're not going to do that. And it's not necessarily bad not to swing there. I guess we could have swung, we've been fine, right? If he's going to play Crocodile. But we still didn't know that. Goes 6, leaves 1 Dawn open. So he does have Okama Way or a Blast Breath. 2 stages, finally. A little bit late at this point. 2 Brooks in trash, 1 Shirahoshi. We'll get down the Laboon. -4. Well, leader skill here, make it -2. And then we can play down Rebecca into a Brook, maybe? Or we can just rest the Jack to pop it. If we do the Rebecca, we at least have a guard for the Jack and the Laboon on board. I think saying the Laboon is getting me tongue-twisted occasionally. I don't know why, it's very annoying. So I'm going to start calling it the Whale. It is what it is. I'll take this. We already have a mom here. We have 2 moms at this point. I would take the other mom. We're fine. We're chilling. That's probably a mistake. We're probably going to lose off that. -2. Make that a 6. We'll go here instead. to draw another stage, which sucks. I guess we can swing here too, right? Safely. Nice. No body. No body. Okay, cool. Oh wait, I guess it could be one, right? He's hesitating over there. So he did have Okama, but why would he pitch that for the Satori? Interesting. That seems a little crazy, unless he has another one in hand, or like 2 more in hand or something like that. But yeah, that's wild. Alright, Rebecca, please stay alive. I need you to keep the whale on board. Kikinojo. Yeah, because he pitched that event, it leads me to believe he has another one in hand, because he played Kikinojo down this turn. We can only go 8 here. So I will guard out with the Rebecca. And if he decides to swing for 7 and leave 1 down open for the Okama way, we're chilling. There's no way he goes 8 with Crocodile here. Yep, cool. It was all planned, boys. It was all planned. He does have Okama way in hand. Which means we need to get rid of the Kikinojo. So regardless, he gets the heal. You know what I mean? But this way would do it in which he can't heal this turn. Technically, he still does, but you know what I mean. It's fine. We got value, okay? We got a big mama board. It's fine. It's okay. We don't actually have to do that either, do we? Let's go 5 into that. See if we can get cards out of hand here. Or 6, sorry. Math. Can I have a 2K, please, good sir? Don't you want this story? I think you do. Okay, I guess he doesn't want it. Can I afford 2 Kikinojos on board? I don't think I can. Not sure what that means, parabens. I don't know if he's trying to tell me I made a misplay or something. I don't understand. But I think I did it like that on purpose. Unless I'm missing something. Draw a free card. There's Who's Who. So we have another 2K counter. We'll allow him to have both of those. I still have to play around ace and stuff. Oh, yeah, Yamato. That's my bad. I forgot that card existed, not gonna lie to you. Yeah, Crocodile still uses it. I know, I understand, but no other yellow deck really does, so. Poor whale. If only, man. 5 lead. Yeah, we'll give you the Brook. Dang, man, now we don't have a way of removing that. That sucks. Sabo. Wish I had a Rebecca here. Big Mom. I think Big Mom's just going to be able to come on board here. We got 1 Okama away in trash, 2 Wednesdays. Okay. So that means he has 3 more Bond Clays left in the deck as well, 2 more Wednesdays. It's just a probability of drawing those cards. So I'm just thinking about things in which aren't going to be useful at this stage. We've only seen 1 Yamato, so that means he has 3 more left. 3 more Crocodiles. Might as well just stay healthy. I mean, yeah, really, bro. I mean, if I got it, what am I going to do with it? Keep it in hands? It's silly. Because at this stage, I think he's just going to keep playing big bodies down. And if I don't have a setup here with Laboon or soldiers on board here, what's the point? You might as well just play it down. You can have 1 Kikinojo. I said you can have 1 Kikinojo. You're welcome. Okay. We're in 8s. You know what? You know what? He can't have that Kikunojo on board. Let's get rid of that. Because we can use Jack just to pop it. We get to draw a free card anyway, and he still gets the heal, but he removes the body on board. Which I'm totally okay with. Go ahead, Jack. Ooh, another Big Mom. You love to see it, but we only go up to 8 Dawn next turn. We don't need the 4th one. That's fine. He's welcome. And we'll go 9 here as well. Sure. Give me a 2K. Miss Wednesday. Okay, so 3rd Miss Wednesday. Blast Breath. 1 will come away. I think we're chilling. What could you possibly do here? I think people just really hate this card, by the way. Like, Big Mom, like, man. She got that stigma on her now, it seems. 11 here. You can have it. I don't have a means of protecting him. Go heavy into Mom? No, another Kikunojo down. So he's seen all of Kikunojo in the deck list. Which is really good for him, but still, right? Because that's 2, 3. Yeah. I think that was it. No, it's only 3. Sorry, it's math. My bad. 4 Dawn open. Goes 9 to Mom. We'll counter out. We'll give you the 2K. I know Saba was better there, but just in case we get another Rebecca. Darn. If only. This might be not the best play, but how do you guys feel about us going 9K into Yamato? You should just let it go. So you have 3 Moms ready to go. Please? Okay. I mean, I guess we can try again. We don't have to put the Dawn attached to this just yet. If we can get rid of the 2K counters, I'm okay with that. He's got 2 cards left anyway. Alright. Now we'll go 11. To make me work at this for some reason. I'll take your Yamato. Thank you very much. Drop a Sabo here. Hey, there's the Rebecca. Guess at this point we don't need Kuzan here either, huh? Trash this. We'll trash that. Let's go 6 lead. Nice. I can use leader skill. Because I think we won this game. Alright, yeah we did. Cool. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back at you guys for another matchup with King playing into Katakuri here in OP11. Yeah, people still play that deck too. I know, it's crazy. In any case, I don't know how many other games we're going to play here. I think we're reaching probably like 50 minutes, give or take, by this point. So maybe 2 more games, if that's okay with y'all. Maybe 2 more games after this. In any case, I hate this match. I absolutely hate playing against Katakuri as King. I know it's not a matchup we typically see, but it's because of the 10-drop Big Mom. For King, it's just as bad as A-Cost Kit, whereas they play a card down, they burn a life, except for in this situation, they make it even harder because it's a 12k body, 10 cost, and they get the heal, which, if we don't have removal pieces on board, we're never going to get rid of the 10-drop Mom. Ever. It's just not going to happen. Because we need so much more setup. So we have to have a Laboon on board, and we have to have a Kuzan on board to be able to just remove it. In most situations. Right? I guess, arguably, if you're utilizing things like Tempest Kick, which you really shouldn't be because we don't discard a lot of cards, that's another card you can look into, but it's very difficult to remove the 10-drop Mom here. Which Katakuri has so many ways of finding. Katatsu, though, typically doesn't have value, which is nice. Of course, Shirahoshi. You just throw away 2 puddings. Yeah, he threw away 2 puddings. That's actually crazy. He must be digging for Big Mom, I assume. So you got no card draw off the first one, which is nice to see. We'll play down ulti here, because we don't have anything else at this point. I could have dropped the Shirahoshi, but it always feels bad for me to play down Shirahoshi when I don't have a target that I can remove. Just playing the blocker to play the blocker. In the late game, sometimes that really matters. Just having the blocker on board really helps out, but in this situation, we're just playing Shirahoshi to drop it on board for nothing. In which, if he has another 5-cost Nami or a Zeus, he just removes it, right? Chill, bro. Relax. Well, this game was fast. No Laboon, no reduction. I'm pretty sure we are cooked. Because we can drop down Shirahoshi here, -4 on the Gadatsu, and then we have to play down the Kamizo to remove it. Because at that point we have to use our leader ability. We've gone through 3 searches. 3 searches! No stage. We have stage now, but it's late, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure this is where we're cooked. Kamizo, remove that. We'll get our Dawn back here. That's fine. We're at 7. So we got a 9 next turn, which means we can play down the 9-cost Mom to sustain a little bit. Because he goes a 9 Dawn as well, I believe. If that's math. He gets another body on board. Love to see it. Yeah, he's at 9. So what you got? Katakuri, 7-cost Mom, 6-cost Mom, 5 lead. Oof. Oh, this could be Kid too, couldn't it? I guess we might as well just take the hit then, if that's the point. Or sorry, if that's the case. Because if it is an 8-cost Kid, we're going to burn the life, then he swings for 7k with Katakuri, so... Yep. 8 open. So I imagine he doesn't play Kid here then. He's probably going to play Katakuri or the 7 Mom. Or sorry, 7 Mom wouldn't matter then either because we're at no life. So it's probably an 8-cost Katakuri now. Perhaps before he had options. And there goes all of our counter this turn. I think we just cooked, aren't we, guys? I think that's it. At least we can get Sabo back from the trash. Shirahoshi on life, yep. There's the Mom. We're at 9. Let's go 5 and a pair of Sparrow for starters. Okay. No cards. Alright, that's a good sign. I don't think it's enough for us to come back in this game at all, but we still haven't seen a soldier, no Laboon, no cost reduction here. We didn't see stage until way late. So we never really had a setup on board to remove bodies, which is unfortunate. And we have to attack him to still win the game here. Man, that sucks. We've got 3 blockers on board, but we still got to swing, I think. Because regardless, he's going to drop the 10 Mom next turn. Assuming he has it. If not, he's got it now. But I think even if we didn't attack, he still wins, right? Because he's not in danger of losing the game. Next turn comes down to Big Mom, he heals a life. Cool. Goes to 5, for example, if we didn't swing into the Shirahoshi. He goes 5k with lead, we give him card in hand. He goes 8k, we give him a blocker. And then the following turn he goes 8, 12, and then leader swing. So, we only can guard 2 of those. And like I said, we got a guard here. He's setting up for it. Yep. This is just one of those bad rolls of the dice type matchups, I think. which is alright. It's fine. It happens. I think this matchup in general is kind of challenging if I don't have this setup. But if I have this setup, it still makes it a little difficult because yellow has a lot of ways of removing those 5-cost characters or 4-cost characters. With the Zeus, the Nami, the 5-cost Nami, and then he has the Cannon as well, which Katakuri typically runs all 3 of those in the deck list, so. He's also running that Nami too. That's cool. We just weren't meant to win this one. It's all good. It's fine. He'll get his comeuppance some other time. Probably not with this matchup, but it be what it be. I guess he'll just play Big Mom here and heal up, and that's it. And if he has another Mom for the following turn, he has another Mom. We'll toss the, I guess the Jack at this point, or the stage. Not the stage, sorry, the event, my bad. Can't pop anything. I guess we'll just go 7. Get this game over with as fast as possible. You're welcome. Give me another trigger, please. No? Okay, we'll pass. I guess we didn't do our leader ability here, did we? So that was close. Do that, we'll draw a card. Kuzan. There's our removal. We just didn't make it to it. I mean, I guess. Sure. Then he has, what, 2 more swings this turn? We have 2 blockers. Yeah, so the next turn we lose. 5. Interesting. Why did he do that? A blocker, maybe? I guess he can play Brule, yeah. So, yeah, it makes sense. We get rid of the Sabo. Yeah, there's Brule. Hey, look, Laboon. We did it. I mean, the whale. My bad. But we got him. We got him. It only took 7 turns, but we got him. It's fine. Man, that sucks, though. This is what we remove here. We remove the Brule. And we remove the 7-drop Mom this turn. And then we run 9k into the Katakuri and hope she doesn't have a 2k counter. And that's our best bet, right? If we could remove the Katakuri... I guess we still can't win because we're only at 1 life. Yeah, never mind. We're cooked, Because we pop this. We go 9. Hypothetically speaking, this goes to trash. And then he's got 2 big swings here. And we only have 1 blocker on board with no counter in hand. That's going to be enough to protect from Katakuri plus Dawn, right? Oh, no, you had counter for that too. Alright, cool. I think that's it, buddy. Go ahead and end me. I miss Katakuri, dude. I love this deck. I think a lot of people really didn't like the 10-cost Mom, and then the meta shifted, obviously, and we got new stuff, and then Katakuri kind of just, like, fell off a ledge somewhere. It happens. I wish he was still in the meta. Be fun. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably play maybe 1 more game after this one, depending on how long the next game is. In any case, our hand's terrible. I got greedy. Our hand is awful. I was looking for stage, obviously, but that sucks. Hey! Cool. Our hand's still terrible, though. Anyway, we're probably going to get cooked, and this should be a fast game. Law loves to play low to the ground, very aggro-based, and we have no counter, so you love to see it. Welcome the king sometimes. Just be gentle, please. Thank you. We get a Laboon. I mean, we have the lines. We have the Laboon into the Jack. He doesn't normally run a whole lot of removal, period, so there's that. We might get there. We'll drop the stage, we'll do the ramp thing, we'll pass turn over. That Katakuri match, though, man, it drained me a little bit, man. I think it drained everybody, to be fair. But it's just one of those matchups with this deck when you don't see the pieces you need. We didn't see the stage until a turn later. We didn't see the removal until endgame. It's like, what do you want me to do, you know? I do think King has had his bad matchups and will still continue to have his bad matchups. Now, I also think it's the way black decks play. They need to see the cards to get the removal, right? And there's those matchups in which you don't see anything. Lucci does the same thing occasionally, but I digress. Let's get back into this game here. We have everything we need. He didn't get a search off with the Bonnie. We go to 6 Dawn this turn. That's about to be crazy, actually. 4 cards in hand. And I don't really care about attacking into Law right now. I just want to get the setup going. So I don't really want to give him more cards here. Let's go ahead and ramp up. We could do 7. This should be guaranteed unless he wants to give me the Veggie. I say I didn't want to attack, but I also didn't want to sit here and pass turn either, so I think going 5, he just gives me a card or he takes the hit. Alright. Yo, you love to see it, man. Alright, so we're at 7 Dawn. So we curved into the Jack, which is really good. You may be arguing, well, we go to 9 next turn, so now we can drop Big Mom. Yes, I get it. We played the stage, so we went from 6 to 7. We still curved in the Jack. Leave me alone, okay? We got there. So, we go into 9, though. Erouge. Interesting. This might not be your average Law deck. I could be wrong, though. I don't see a lot of Laws running the 0-cost event, nor the Erouge, so that's pretty cool. Alright, bounces the Bonnie back. He's probably going to play Bonnie back down. Yep, does the search. Swings for 6k. What do you find? As you're at 2 cards in hand, we have to remove the 1-cost Bonnie off board if we want to keep starving him. Okay, gets another searcher. Luffy. I need to think. Because if we play Jack down, Jack is only going to pop the Veggie, right? Because we have to remove the Veggie first before we can remove something else. If we keep the Who's Who and Brook, we have the Whale on board, in which we can rest him, do the -4 cost to the Erouge, play Who's Who down, trash a card in hand, which would be the Jack, right? We pop the Veggie with the Who's Who. We play the Brook down to pop the Erouge. We run 5 into the 1-drop Bonnie. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We'll ramp up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. What could go wrong here? Go 5? I mean, he's got 3 cards in hand. I think this should work. If he wants to give me the Bonnie blocker, I will take it. Because there's no way we use the Whale to run into the 1-cost Bonnie. So he could block out here. Is he contemplating on that? Okay, cool. He let it go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 Dawn open, which is weird. If we Jack, we cannot remove the Erouge. So yeah, let's do it this way then. We'll trash the Jack. We'll pop this. 4 left. We'll rest the Whale. We'll -4 on the Monk. So this gives him just 1 blocker on board, which I'm okay with. We're at 9. We're at 10 Dawn. Choose our leader ability here. Darn. I was hoping for the Searcher. That's fine. That's all we got, man. That was pretty good, though. But that was pretty good. I do think the Whale is going to go to trash. He's going to kill it this turn, so that's awful. But we have no counter to deal with that. Okay. Plays Law. Chooses not to bounce the Bonnie? Sure. Interesting, though. We just go 8k into Whale, right? I forgot about the Luffy. Okay, Luffy comes down, gets the search off. What are we looking for here? 8-cost Kid, maybe? Cavendish. Speaking of Cavendish, yeah, he didn't draw that on curve. Which is nice. You know, I love to see it. What's that? Okay. Blah, blah. Don't really see that in Law that often. What does this thing do? That's pretty good. Seems a little expensive, but pretty good. Plays another Veggie down. Goes 5 into Whale. Yeah, we get to keep this on board for one more turn. That's crazy. I feel slightly bad here. The dream is playing Kuzan. We're playing Kuzan. Pop this. I guess we need to remove the Law. Get a search. Cool. Go for the face. We'll pop the Law. And then we'll go 5 with Who's Who. Ladies and gentlemen, this we solved the nuts, if you will. Like, this is one of those perfect games. Although Law did not see Cavendish on curve, which is kind of interesting. He did search twice, did not draw into Cavendish unless he saw it in the search and decided not to take it. But still. Go 5. Just take the hit. Okay, 0-cost event. Sure, no problem. Go 5 again. Sure. That's interesting. I really don't think most Law variants are running 0-cost event. I could be wrong. I don't think I've ran into this at any point, as of late anyway. Alright, so he has the X-Drake, so he can use X-Drake the rest of the boon. And then probably going to clear it, because we'd have no counter in hand this time around. And I think that would be the correct play here. You're swinging with Bonnie. Okay. You're going into Brook, I imagine? Sure. You got it. Interesting, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess with the Kuzan on board, Brook is a very, very strong threat, but he has to clear the Laboon here. Come on. Rest the X-Drake. Do the thing. We're equal life. Okay. Alright. Would you guys have cleared the Laboon there? I think that was the correct play. To remove the whale. Otherwise, why play the X-Drake down? At all. Like, why play him down if you're not going to use his ability there? Huh. Yeah, we're not going to 10-cost Kuzan again. We're not going to do it. We're going to play down Jack or Big Mom. So, we're going to do the thing. We're going to remove the blocker. We're going to pitch the stage. Get out of here. Thank you. We have Brook as well. We can remove the X-Drake. We'll go 5 into Bonnie. Yes, sir. Looking pretty good. I guess we'll do another matchup after this one. This matchup seems to be going pretty fast, and it's very in our favor. Get a Kamizo. Get our Dawn back, pass it over. Like, this seems almost like he did not see the cards he needed early in the game, and at this point, he ain't gonna get them. He's already given me a 2 0-cost events early game, so that's 4 cards out of hand, including the 2 zeros. I'll X for round 2. If he wants to play, we'll do it. If not, we'll just move over to another matchup. What is this doing here? Interesting. I mean, sure. Hey, another Big Mom. It's nice to see. Or Jack. I mean, Jack allows us to pop more cards, right? But this keeps us into the game. Because Hody Jones is still a thing, you know what I mean? It's still a thing. That'd be tragic. Get a Kamizo down. Or Kamazo, however you guys want to say it. search. We'll take the 2K. And we'll start doing the shenanigans. We'll go ahead and just, I guess, minus here. Doesn't really matter. Sim, thank you. Pop this. We'll attach Dawn. Go 5. We'll pop the Zoro. Do a free damage. And this should be game, guys. Unless he gets a veggie. But this should be game. Or a 0 cost event, sorry. Thank you, kind sir. What we get? Okay. Yeah, that was mean. I understand it. I get it. We'll go 12 face and we'll end the game. We'll move on to the next one. Well played. Let's see if he wants to do another one. Nope. Okay, cool. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Coming at you guys with another matchup here with King playing into Luffy, black-purple. I hate this match. I don't know why I decided to take this one or record this one. We need setup on board. We need to see Laboon. We have Laboon. We have 2 searchers in hand. We gotta find stage. The downside to this matchup is he runs a 7-cost Sanji, which can rest the Laboon. He also uses the, I think it's a 5-drop Sanji. It's a 5 or a 6 cost. It's the black Sanji that comes down and pops a character. He uses that as well. He also, every character on board is +1, which makes it very difficult for us to move anything. We don't see stage here. I guess we're taking a 2K counter. Please. Double Kuzans, no stage. Take another 2K counter. I think that's... What was that? That's 2 Who's Who's. We saw the Bart already. And then we saw a Kamizo, I believe. So we've seen 8 2Ks. Is that math? No, sorry. We've seen 5 2Ks already. Which is crazy. So we only have 6 more left in the deck. No stages. We've seen 15 cards. There's a Big Mom. There's another Who's Who. It's going to be one of these games. We're going to try our best. I don't know why I didn't go 8 there. That is my bad. No, I guess we can stick Laboon on board. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. 5 Dawn. Zoro play maybe. Into Dawn attached to Luffy. Yep, here's the Zoro. It's 4 Dawn. When he goes like 3 on Law, and then the rest on lead, or just 5 and 5, leave 1 Dawn up, nope. Into Bond Clay, sure. I think we actually have to guard here, which sucks. Yo, come on, man. Not even a Jack here. I guess Jack wouldn't have mattered, though. We probably still needed to see a stage at this point. Because we have the Who's Who. We'd pitch a card to pop the Zoro. Yeah, we have to do it like that, because I don't want to rest the Laboon to do it. I'll trash this. We'll kill that. We'll go 6 lead. Gives me a 2K. You're cool. I think Luffy definitely has the advantage here. We have a ridiculous amount of counter. Or we have seen a lot of counter. But we don't have any setup here. We don't have any popping characters. Oh, there goes the Laboon. Yeah, so it's a 5-cost Sanji. Problematic. That's okay. We have the Rebecca to get it back, if need be. Another 2K. This is when Jack would be pretty viable here, but now we don't have the whale, so I guess we'll clear the Law. That's the only thing we can do here. 3 cards in hand. He's probably going to take the hit if we go face. Rebecca gets back the Laboon. Plain broke down, cannot pop the Law because everything's +1, which is unfortunate. So we don't have another pseudo blocker on board. We'll go 5 here. Surely, okay. Played on the whale. Pass it over. We're at 8 on. We go to 10 next turn. Can we get there? Well, GG. there's nothing we gonna do now. That's over. That's it. It's a wrap. Because at this point, your boy just drops big bodies and big bodies. He's cleared the Laboon twice. He's gonna get the Rebecca this turn. And we've got 4K, 6K counter with one Big Mom. I mean, I don't think we're getting out of this one. Yep. We'll give you the Rebecca here. If he wants to swing with Bond Clay, he can as well. Oh, okay. Never mind. Just clear his whole board. Definitely Luffy's a better deck, I assume. Goodness. I mean, we didn't see the stage. We didn't see the lines earlier. No Jack. He saw 2 Sanjis or removed Laboon twice. Like, what you want from me, guys? Alright, we tried our best. Sure, we'll pitch this. We'll gain life. We'll put this on bottom. I guess that's okay. We'll go 6 in the Sanji on board. He counters out. Of course, yep. I mean, he's got 1 card, or 2 cards. But as do we. And we have no way of drawing extra cards other than just surviving with our leader skill. Another Rebecca? Okay, okay. Another 2K counter. Oof. There's the stage. Good game, buddy. Well played. Alright, we'll do one more game. One more game. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, we've seen, like, nothing but 2Ks. That is... It happens, man. It happens. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the last matchup of the day. We're going to dive back into the deck list. I do hope you guys are enjoying this one. It's been a long time coming that we need to feature King here again on the channel. Unfortunately, since my last King video, your boy has got 0 support at all, outside of our promo ulti. And that's it. And we recently just got that, so now seems to be the time. I know you guys wanted to see this deck prior, and I also wanted to put this deck out before, but I was waiting to get the ulti. Or not the ulti, sorry, the ulti. And now that we have it, the deck is still... It's okay. It's still not a tier 1 list or deck. And I don't think it's gonna be until we get some Animal Kingdom support. Like, dedicated support for all the Kaido pirates. So, until we see that, King might just be, he might just be stay at locals type meta deck, or type deck. I'm sorry, man. I very much love this leader, and I really want someone to take this to a regional event, a Treasure Cup event, and just decimate, do well. This is definitely one of those decks in which you don't see that often, and you have no idea what this deck does until you play multiple matches into King. Because he can be built in so many different ways, and he's very fun to play. He has a lot of lines in which he can remove characters on board. He's just... It's his skill ceiling, but at the same time, the meta has shifted in a way in which if he doesn't see the cards he needs, he cannot survive. If you're playing against things like Buggy, for example, you're not going to be removing anything on board once they play down the Mihawk Crocodile. It's just not going to happen. You know, like, there are certain decks in which King just can't find a way around, you know? But nonetheless, still fun. I very much love this leader. I know you guys do too, so I'm sorry if I had to get my butt kicked in some of the games today, like Katakuri, that Luffy matchup. Still very fun. This is not going to be a deck in which I'm going to, like, put on the shelf, never play again. I very much like playing King, so I do hope you guys enjoy this one today. Either way, we're going to dive into this matchup here with King playing into Jewelry Bonnie, and this is a very, very grindy game. No matter how I cut it, no matter how fast I play, it's very, very grindy, but it's always a lot of thinking because we have to play around so many big bodies in which Bonnie has access to, which is not fun. The Hody Jones, for one, is just... It just crushes your hopes and dreams, man. If you're not prepared for it, even if you are prepared for it, it's a scary card in this deck. Because it rests my blockers, and we typically don't have a lot of counters, so But we're going to try to play around it. I also have to be mindful for Zoro. I have to have on-spot removal for Zoro, so I have to save a lot of pieces until that moment happens, if she's playing Zoro in her list, which I assume she would be. But I digress. Let's get into it. Thankfully, we got stage. We do have Laboon, in which Bonnie doesn't have a lot of ways of interacting with my Laboon, other than me attacking and she resting it, which I typically won't do unless I rest Laboon first to pop something. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We're on 6. I don't necessarily want to pop the Erouge right now if I don't necessarily have to. We could play down Soldier into Brook, I guess, to remove this. But instead, let's just do this and Soldier, and we'll pass the turn over. This way we have 2 opportunities of removal next turn with Jack and with Brook. Because she wants to drop down something like Cavendish, then we can just Laboon into the Jack, which is nice. We can save the Soldier for later after she clears the Laboon, then we can use the Soldier into like a Brook Jack combination or a Jack Shirahoshi combination. We just have to be mindful of Zoro. Unfortunately, Bonnie does typically hold a lot of cards in hand here too, which is problematic for King, because we also have to remove the 8-cost Eustace Kid. And if we're not able to do that, Zoro kind of he becomes a whole problem. So, but Bonnie's sitting here on her 6th Dawn turn, in which she should be just playing down Cavendish and calling it a day. What are we doing? Because we got places to be. I'm not too sure why this was a very difficult play. I imagine if she had the lines here, she would just do 6 Dawn, you spend 5, you play Cavendish, you restand 2, you have 3 Dawn there. You play down Tashigi, right? You go 5 with Bonnie, restand a Dawn at the end of the turn for Erouge, then you have ways of protecting bodies on board with the Tashigi. Unless she doesn't have that in hand. Considering she decided to play Scratchman and Pooh here for whatever reason to rest Soldier. Oh. Okay. Alright, make it make sense to me. If you're playing Carrot, you're going to freeze Soldier here, which doesn't have to be rested to use the ability, because we're going to trash it anyway. So I'm assuming you're going to go 5 into it. Perhaps? Yes, 5 into Soldier? 5 into lead. Alright. I don't know what's going on, I'm also confused, and I want to know what's in that hand over there. That is crazy. We can take this hit. Because we have the Big Mom in hand. If we can find another one or get an extra card here, that's okay. I just have to have removal for later for Zoro. So, I'd much rather keep the Brook for the time being and the Shirahoshi for the time being. Stage. Not bad. Because we have a way of pitching that with the 9-cost Mom instead of throwing away something else here. You want to swing with the Monk into the Soldier? Yes? There's no way they do that. No shot. But I'll take it. Okay, cool. Alright, so we get ulti here. A little late. It's a little late in the game for me to try to develop that. Carrot has to go. Definitely. Because Jack cannot exist on board. I mean, I guess Jack can, but still. We'll trash this. We'll go -3 here. I'll go ahead and rest the Laboon. We'll -4 on the Carrot. And then we can drop down 2 Brooks to pop both. I mean, that's not a bad play. I just feel it's not the best. It's definitely not the best. The other play that we could do would be play Shirahoshi into Brook to pop the Carrot, and then leave the Laboon on board. But the moment we swing, she's going to rest the Laboon or the Shirahoshi. And if she has Hody for next turn, it's not going to matter. So, let's go 5 here. give me a Cavendish. Interesting. I'm not sure why they would give Cavendish there. I don't understand that. There's no way they didn't have any other card in hand with counter that could be more valuable than Cavendish. Unless they have nothing but big bodies in hands. But if that's the case, why not just take the hit to keep the Cavendish on board? Because you're at 6 Dawn. I don't know. That's fine. It is what it is. Thank you. Appreciate the Cavendish. I'll take that. Let's get down ulti here. I don't care about the Eruge right now, I guess. That's fine. Because now we can use our leader ability. We can restand, get the Dawn back here for free. Draw a free card. It's all good. Because now we get to have another body on board. Yeah, we could have played down the Brook to pop the Eruge. I understand. But then we would have had Dawn floating over. That was 3 for no reason. So, I think this seems to be a little bit more efficient. We can get rid of the Eruge later if need be. Alright, so what do you want to do here? Because you're at 8, right? You're at 8. If you kept the Cavendish here, you played Cavendish down this turn, you go back up to 5. So you play Cavi, go back up to 5. Play down another carrot if you have it to freeze the Laboon. Like, these are just plays that Bonnie could have made prior to this turn instead of playing the carrot to freeze the soldier, right? Because the only thing that would have happened differently there would have been we kill the Eruge instead of the carrot if she didn't play the carrot. And then she kept the Cavendish in hand, she could play the carrot this turn, do the thing. Now we're on 8 Dawn. We play Kid down. No Dawn to attach to the Kid. This feels like order of operations was all wrong, you know? But what do I know? Just because she had a lot of cards in hand, maybe she had so many different lines that she could have taken. Just don't know why she decided to go this route. So we get a Veggie. Yep, you draw one, you trash Rosinante. Okay. I'm going to assume that she had drawn the Rosinante off the draw with the Veggie. If not, I'd imagine you'd play the Rosinante in place of the Veggie if you already had it in hand off the Kid effect. Just in case we decide to, pop the Kid this turn, we'd have to pop the Rosinante first, and then pop the Kid. 5 here, sorry, we need this on board. You cannot have that. Which means we have to give you a Brook, I think. I think that's the best line. Because it would give you Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi's really good here too, actually. Yeah, I'll give you the Brook. Because I think we can pull that back from trash later. Shirahoshi might be very, very viable when she plays Zoro down. Or, actually, -4, -4. We can play Shirahoshi here on the Kid. Yeah, this'll work. I'll do that, and then we can use the Brook to swing to run into lead to pop the Kid. Because my other option would be playing down Jack, which isn't bad, right? It's not bad to play Jack here. We definitely want to have Kamizo on board, I think, at some point. I kind of wanted to put that on board prior to this. I think if we didn't have the ulti for that turn, we could play Kamizo there if we had it. I don't remember if we did, but just one of the things to think about. Because Kamizo is really good here. Just because she has a lot of cheap blockers, like the Veggies and the Rosinantes. Jack is nice. It's a big body that we can keep on board for later. You know what? Let's do this instead. We'll play this, we'll -4 on Eustace Kid. And then we'll swing with Brook. Then I would argue that she would rest the Shirahoshi. I'd imagine. Yeah, this is fine. This works out. Because we have to put it on here to swing, don't we? Because we're at 4K, so. Let's go 5 lead. We'll pop this. I think I misplayed, actually. Yeah, I think I misplayed. Well, no, I can still salvage it. Yeah, we can still salvage it. Because we can play down the Kamizo here still. What I think I should have done instead, which would have been just going 5 with the Brook, -1 to the Arouge, and then pop the 8 cost Captain Kid with Brook's effect. Arouge had been a 3, then I played down the Kamizo. -2 on the Arouge, and then pop it that way. Both ways work, but I probably should have done it the other way around if I was doing like min-max, right? Because I didn't use Brook's ability to minus anything. So we'll do this. We'll use our ability. We'll draw a card here. Or not a card, sorry. We'll -2 on the Rouge. And then we'll get the Dawn back, which is nice. Just in case the sim might bug out, we'll do this effect first. We'll pop this. We'll gain the rested. And that's fine. We're at 9 Dawn. We'll go 6 here to lead. And now we have a way of protecting the Laboon again. We'll pass turn over. Which in that case, she can't clear anything. Unless she has Shanks, right? Shanks could pop the Laboon. Which it is what it is at that point. Yeah, if Shanks comes down, we're definitely cooked here. Because we don't have any way of removing that. Yeah, we have no way of removing that. We only can make him an 8 cost at this point with the Brook. Assuming she doesn't run into the Brook with Bonnie, right? So that would be... Brook makes it an 8 cost. I use my leader skill, which makes it a 6, which we still can't use Big Mom to remove. I guess I'm wrong, and we decide to go Zoro instead of Shanks here, which is still terrifying. Definitely terrifying. So how about instead we do -4. Why didn't you attack Laboon? Why wouldn't you attack Laboon? Because this way, we just take the hit. Like if I had the counter, I'd use the counter, but you would just attack Laboon. That way you can get rid of the blocker or counter from hand. That's crazy. What are you doing here? You can't swing. Alright. We'll do the thing. -4. Our only option here is... if I swing in with Brook, it makes it a 5. Right? Yeah, it makes it a 5. Yeah, it doesn't matter, because we can just play Big Mom here anyway. I was just trying to figure out a way if we can just remove the Zoro instead of playing the Big Mom, we can play Jack. You know what I mean? Jack allows us to draw a card, we can still remove the Zoro. But we'd have to minus down with our leader skill as well. Instead, if we play Big Mom, we play that over top of the Brook, right? And then we can use our leader skill to draw a card. If we do it the Jack way, we have to minus the Dawn to use our leader ability to -2 more on the Zoro to be able to pop it, instead of drawing a card. Both are nice. Jack allows us to get another body on board to be able to remove things, which is probably better in the long run because we have the Laboon. So we'll have to go ahead and remove Dawn. Be -2 to the Zoro. Because we can't draw. If we draw here, we lose. Because we cannot kill the Zoro. So now it's a 6. Or sorry, it's -6. We'll get the Dawn back here with the ulti, which is cool. We'll rest the Jack. We still get the draw off the Jack, which is cool. 3 Dawn left over, which is floating. The only other difference there would have been if we played Big Mom down, we still removed the Brook on board to place her, and then we put the Zoro in bottom of life. And in that situation, we discard a card for the Big Mom, and then we -2 to draw one off the King. So I guess it would have still been nice, I suppose, either way. But considering we established the Jack and the Laboon with a blocker on board, we can keep the Jack here, for later use. And if she wants to drop Shanks here to clear it, then go for it, man. That's fine. Because now we still have the Laboon on board that we can -4, then play the Big Mom to put the Shanks in life. Cool. Awesome. Let's do it. Sorry, Jack. Obviously it was a target, so there's that. 5 into Laboon? Yeah, there you go. This time we have counter, though, so I'm sorry. You don't get our blocker this time around. I kind of want to save the Sabo, right? I think we want to save the Sabo. I'll give her the 2k. It might seem a little counterintuitive, but just in case we have to, I guess, rely on Sabo's extra draws, then that's fine. The blocker is not really the problem because she has access to Hody Jones. It's the extra cards that we get off of it, which are very effective. Yeah, we'll give him the 2k. Go to 7. 1 done open still. So she's gonna rest our blocker next turn, maybe? I assume. Alright, who's who? Well, -4 here. So Shanks is now at 5. We still have ways of clearing him with Jack, though. Don't we? Is that math? Yeah. We can still play Jack here. And we get the draw and pitch something else. But just in case Hody Jones, right? Because if Hody comes down the following turn, and we are still on 1 life, she just wins. Because then she would just Hody, rest Shirahoshi, and then double tap me face with not a lot of counter here. We'd have to rely strictly on being a 2k in life at that point. Draw 1, another Big Mom. Love to see it. Get the Dawn back again. Okay. We'll go 6. And she'll rest our blocker, yes? I assume? Because she rests blocker, she clears the whale. Maybe? Alright, never mind. Cool. We'll take that. Because I'll still attack you with the Kamizo as well. 0 cost event. No problem. We'll pass turn then. That's my bad. I forgot to swing. Even though I mentioned it. She's still healthy though. You know what I mean? She's still healthy. She has a way of getting extra cards. If she plays Hody here, she rests the blocker, she clears the Laboon, and then she clears the ulti or the Kamizo. So Hody removes 2 bodies here, which is absurd. If she plays Shanks again, she just kills the whale. What we got here? 1 Zora, 1 Kid. Okay. Interesting. Because we put the Shanks in life. She's only seen 1 Searcher, 1 Cavendish. Bonnie, what are we doing? You run out the clock. We have things to do today. Alright, another Zoro. Okay. That's brave, actually. Unfortunately, we don't have another Jack, though, so... we can still bottom life that, actually. We go 5 into whale? Yes? Not life, go into whale? Please? Nice. Okay. We still need to keep this on board, though. So we'll give you the 2k. I'm sorry. Imagine, though, I let it go and we just get cooked because I can't do math. Because we can't remove the Zoro, then we just lose game. Like, that'd be crazy. Thank you. Alright. I think Bonnie's like having like a nap over there or something, man. She's just taken 10 years. 10 years. -4 here. We'll swing first. If I swing with lead or ulti, she just rests the big mom, so. We put her down to 3 life here. And this is where we lose game or something, right? Okay. Yep. Alright, big mom, come save me again. You're pretty good at this. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to remove ulti, I think. I think Kamizo has more value here. And at this point, ulti, we don't need her anymore because we're already at 10 Dawn, so. Okay, we'll get a monk. We'll go 6. Put her to the 2. Okay. We'll play mom on board. We'll heal up again. That's right. The second mom. I mean, she played 2 Zoros, so I think it's fair. We'll minus a Dawn. And then we'll trash an ulti. Put this to bottom. Can't pop anything. We'll use our leader ability. Draw free cards. We'll pass it over. Nice, we get a search. That's pretty good. Well, I guess at this stage it's not relevant, so I guess it can still draw me a 2k counter, but still. Look at that. The timer's almost out. I'm so sorry, guys, man. This is a long game. So we're definitely ending it on this one. I apologize. I don't think I've had a game that has ever lasted this long before. Outside of playing like a Nell, you know what I mean? It's crazy. There's a Hody Jones. 10 years for Hody ability. Alright. Rest Big Mom. Sure. 8 into Whale. Yes. We go. Alright, so 8 into Whale. You got it. Thanks, Laboon. You put in a lot of work for me. Appreciate you. I mean, she didn't really have a good time to clear it, right? There were just moments in which she should have attacked into it instead of going into face. I still had the counter for those plays, but there were just moments where she should have done that. You know what I mean? So we get a Rebecca, so we can bring back the Whale, if need be. We do need the blockers, though, so we have the Rebecca with the Sabo to draw more cards here that we can pitch, which is nice. Instead, let's do... She's going to rest the Big Mom here, right? So let's go 10 into Hody Jones first. If she rests the mom, it's totally okay, because we can play another one down. I don't necessarily need to play Rebecca Sabo just yet. Let's try to clear this first, if possible. They don't have a lot of time left, so I hope Bonnie will play fast now. Instead of slow playing me this whole darn game. It's crazy. Alright. Actually, yeah, this is fine. Because this way she cannot clear both Big Moms, even though she gets Shanks. Because I will be swinging into life after this as well. I'll take the 2k counter. And then we can go ahead and play Sabo down. Cool. We'll pitch a 1-cost event. And a 1-cost event. We'll go 5 lead here. After we use our leader ability, draw an extra card. 2k, please. Thank you. 5 lead. Now, if she decides to take the Shanks, Shanks can't come down and pop anything because we're immune thanks to the Sabo. Gives me a 1k. We'll stage up. We'll pass it over. So again, Bonnie is no longer going to slow play me because the timer is running out. So I appreciate the timer at this point. Thank you, timer. Goodness gracious. We're going 8 to face. That's fine. 7 face, I assume. Yep, I'll take that as well. Actually, we'll guard here, just in case. I think we're fine, but just in case. All right. So, I think the lines are still the same. We're gonna go 10 into Hody. I don't have to be super aggressive because I think I'm safe here. I'd rather just coast and chill. Yep, rest 10 here. No counter. Love to see it. Play another mom down. Go 5 here first, just in case she wants to rest the big mom. Oh, that's right, she couldn't. My bad. She already did that. It's my fault. We'll heal again. We'll trash this. And then we'll stage. We'll lead her ability. Draw a free card. I'll pass it over. You know, for her slow playing me for the majority of this game, she deserves all these big bumps. I'm just saying. A good game though. Well played. 3 Hodies back to back to back. So we dealt with 2 Zoros, 3 Hodie Jones. And you could argue Big Mom carried the game. You could argue that, which she kind of did. She kind of did. But because Bonnie didn't have a means of removing the Laboon, I think having the Laboon on board with the Big Moms and the Jacks really just got the game. And that's pretty much it. Although this was like a 30-minute rounds, it was fun. Outside of Bonnie slow playing, but still, it was a good game. Well played. Let's go, boys. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Today was a lot of fun, especially when it comes out with King, man. This seems to be one of the most anticipated leaders here on the channel in a long time. I feel like you guys get excited for King, off-meta stuff, Yamato, and I hope I delivered. I had a lot of fun with this one. I know this deck can be built in numerous different ways. I have had, what, 4 or 5 videos on King here on the channel. All the deck lists are a little bit different. All of them have similarities. All of them are pretty spicy, so you can take a peek at some of them and see what you guys like best. Do keep in mind, King hasn't had a lot of support at all since he's come out, right? We haven't had a whole lot of Animal Kingdom pirates at all. And that's very unfortunate. We have a bunch of Animal Kingdom stuff, but nothing necessarily for King, right? When King came out, we got access to like the one-drop Queen and like Sasaki, but outside of that, not a whole lot going on here, man. Even if you look at this particular list here, we have Who's Who, Jack, Stage. Everything else, nothing to do with Animal Kingdom Pirates. So King, as much love as Kaido has, as much love as people have for King, we need support. We did get support for Big Mom, right? We got stuff for Katakuri. We got stuff in OP12 for Katakuri as well. Animal Kingdom Pirates, I'm hoping one day. But currently, this list can be built in numerous different ways through purple and black good stuff, which you guys see here. So I do hope you guys cook up something spicy, take this list and or deck to like a regional event, a treasure cup, do well. Because I think this leader can get there. I do think the deck has a high skill ceiling. You gotta know the matchups, but you also gotta see the cards on curve. This is a black deck, so you have to see the removal when you need to see the removal. It's very tough in that regard. But outside of that, I had a lot of fun. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one today. Last matchup was a drag. My voice is already shot, but this has been Pawseplays. Please don't forget to leave a like on the video so we get these things floating around. Enjoy your time at the pre-releases for OP12. Pull something spicy, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.